Hi guys, I'm going to make a video about petrified woods and petrified trees. This mountain supposed to be the biggest tree ever. It's a whole mountain, just one single tree. Okay, just imagine that because that's what really we are talking about. So, but before I continue, I'm going to show you a chart where the Earth used to be planet of giants. So I'm going to see the charts first so you can know what we are talking about. All right, civilization exists from 100 millions to 300 millions and was planet of giant. Earth was planet of giants. Giant trees, giant animals, giant humans, 200, 300, 500 feet, and maybe taller. The evidence shows that petrified wood and trees were giant, mud fossils of human, giant, mud fossil footprints, and mud fossils animals. Now that you know where we are talking about, so I'm going to show you back to my pictures. And like I say, this is the biggest tree ever. And there's a video. I'm going to let it play. And we are going to listen because it's very important. He's gonna try to convince that there were trees, giant trees, like you never think about in your mind. Okay, let's go.
May seem really heavy at times. Everything out here has a thin layer of vegetation over it. See everything in the ground, okay? Let's just look at the size of these. This goes way under the ground. And then there's another one and another one and another one. These trees were giant. And listen to me. I'll show you again. You have the tree, okay? And then you have the branch. And then you have the twigs that come off the branch. Okay, let's take a twig off. This is the smallest part of the tree off the branch. These here are just parts of branches and twigs. They're not part of the main tree, of the trunk here. Okay? These trees were miles upon miles in diameter. And you could go over here. You go all the way in the back over there in them mountain ranges. It's exactly the same thing on the ground. Okay? That's how massive they were. Okay?
All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna say a few things. Well, he says it was miles and miles of diameter, and he mentioned about the little twig it broke. He was saying that the branches the rocks that you see here, they're branches of the tree. They're not the trunk of the tree, branches only. So now I'm going to the same video, but a little farther, and as a continuation. Please listen because it's very important that you trying to open your mind to realize that we have big trees, giant. Okay, let's go.
Okay? And I got a pretty good shot here, but I want to continue what I'm saying. Okay? All this up here, we've been through this before. You know, it says that these trees reached into the heavens. They could be seen from all ends of the earth. This is just part of the main tree that's still standing. And from here up, it went up for, could have been 100 miles, could have been 50, could have been 200, 500, I don't know. But if you understood the vastness of this, and these here are part of the twigs and branches, it was a tree so large you can't wrap your mind around it. But I want you to understand that they do that.
Okay, well, He was changing subject. I'm just gonna keep on the giant tree. And if you were listening, he's saying that it was big, huge, miles on diameter. And so, do you imagine how big this tree was that reached the heavens? So, it's just something that our mind doesn't accept yet, but we have to because that's the truth. And so, I'm going to, once again, that is just a comparing what I'm sure he's talking a different tree, but I'm showing this so you can have in your mind how big they were. Okay, so I'm going to talk about another reason why I'm making this document or this video is because petrified trees exist long time ago. I'm talking about the giant trees, giant animals, and giant humans. Well, 300 million years ago. That's what I'm talking about. And so, why they got extinct? Well, after our investigation, I find out that was because the Earth has a catastrophes every 12,000 years. So I'm going to talk about because they related. One and the other doesn't exist without the other one. So let's talk about it. All right. The Earth has magnetic extension, magnetic shifting, and it's about pole reversal, pole shifting, and pole shifting means that the poles change places. And so let's go to my next chart. Okay, like I say, this chart is going to clarify a little more. Every 12,000 years, the Earth has a pole shift. And so last time happens was 12,000 years ago, and this means that the Earth is due for another pole shift. That's what it means, because if this was 12,000 years ago, that means the Earth is getting ready for another one, pole shift. All right, let's count because it's every 12,000 years. Let's go 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. And so this 12,000 years ago is when the ark, Noah's ark, and the story from the Bible, well, this is it. Because not only was a extinction, a global extinction, it was global disaster, and also was an ice age. And so if you go follow down to 72 years, also was global disaster, global extinction, and ice age. So it seems like every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every 5 cycles there is an ice age. And I'm going to clarify a little bit. Okay, what happened is they call Milankovitch cycle. What happened is that the Earth goes into another cycle, and it's 365 days a year, but it takes longer on winters. Either way, it takes a long time being in winter time. And so I'm gonna back to this chart, and this is over here now, and you see over here if you read stage of glaciation, and this is 1,000 years till now. And if you see now, we might have this Milankovitch cycle. So we might have a long winter. Okay, so that's what it means. And that's what it means when it's an ice age. Okay, so I show you that. That one too. Now I'm going to talk about the pole shift. And this is North Pole, South Pole. And this is the center of this North Pole. If you follow the blue line, you'll see that the center is exiting far away. And so the same thing for the South Pole. The red line is leaving the center of the South Pole. Okay, so there is a charge. It says 450,000, and this is 0, the present. And 250,000 years ago, that one was the what do you call, the Neanderthals and the other race. Well, long time ago, the civilization, man wasn't like industrialism. No, he was not industrial. So, but even though the chart shows that the earth have the cycles anyway, so it's nothing to do with us. It's something to do with the earth cycles, totally different. So even without men, still a lot of cycles on earth. Okay, so let's do it. Let's go to the next page. This is the earth, and so this is the new pole. It says over here north magnetic pole. It says pole motion. So and this is the new north pole, and this is the new south pole. This is gonna flip to the north, and this is gonna flip to the south. Okay, and before I change this page, I'm gonna talk about the ring of fire. So the ring of fire goes around the world like this. In some places go into the land, also somewhere over here. But what I'm trying to say, when the earth is ready to do a pole shift, the earth selects on the ring of fire the most active volcanoes. In this case, this is the most active volcanoes in the last, I don't know, 50 years or so. But what I'm trying to say is that this, because it's been so active, it's been polarized. And so it's like it's getting prepared for shifting or flipping. Okay, so once again about the ring of fire. The ring of fire, when this, before the pole shift, before flips, all the ring of fire volcanoes is going to release all the carbon dioxide, and this is going to trigger a very catastrophic climate change, and so very, very severe climate change. So now that I say that, I'm going to go to the next page, and this is the sun. And actually, if you blaming the sun for all catastrophes, you're wrong, because the problem is the sun. The sun does the pole shift, does change poles too, and so when the sun changes poles, the earth copies and do the same thing. So I have this video and I want you to listen. There you go.
Soon, however, both poles will be reversed, and the second half of Solar Max will be underway. When that happens, Hoxema and Shearer will share the news with their colleagues and the public.
Okay, as you hear, and you can see the dramatization about pole shifting. Okay, so now the Earth. I'm gonna let you listen to this video, a tiny video about the Earth pole shift.
JPL senior research scientist Eric Ivins gets to the problem. Our magnetic field may be in the process of flipping.
Are we talking about a total flip? North is...
Okay, total flipping. Okay, so this is the chart, and this is 1850. I don't see it, but anyway, it's 1850s somewhere over here. And so let's go back over here, and this line, if you follow the line, 2010, 2015. If you go down, it says 2050, and you can make a guess. Your guess is good as mine, but you can say that 2025, 2030, that's when the Earth is gonna do pole shift. So now that I say that, if you wanna update yourself, you can go to Suspicious Observer for updates about the pole shifting. Thank you very much. I think I did everything you want to hear. Bye.